Today we're going to be ranking the Gilmore Girls characters. This might be my most controversial video to date. So we have 5 different categories today that I have made myself. Our categories are as follows. Annoying but iconic at the top, because I don't feel like any of the characters in this show can be iconic without being a little bit annoying. Next we have my sweet, sweet angels. These are for the characters that are the light of my life. I feel like we can already guess who's going in that category, but let's carry on. Next up we have broke my heart. Some of these characters felt like they picked up the knife and just yeeted it at my back. The next category is you're okay. And the you're okay isn't in a mean way, it's more in a kind of way of like, you're okay, I just don't know where to put you because I have 50-50 opinions, you know? Next up we have meh, which is kind of for the characters that I don't really care about. They don't deserve a ranking, they're just kind of there. Then last but not least we have why. I had to put did you drop out of Yale in brackets because I was scared people wouldn't get my reference.
Why did you drop out of Yale?
Now this section is for the characters that gave me nothing but a headache. They exist to annoy me and I take it personally. But without further ado, let's continue. So I'm gonna start off with the sweetest of sweet little angels, which would be Lane Kim. I understand that some people do not like her. When I say I understand, I mean I know that they're wrong. So Lane Kim goes straight into my sweet, sweet angels section. I love her. I am a Lane Kim defender, supporter. I want to give her the biggest hug and just tell her she did amazing. I'm obsessed with her. I wanted more for her in every single sense of the matter, and she deserves more. Which brings me on to my broke my heart section. Where is he? Where is he? He's there. This man came into the show, showed me what true love was, and then dipped. I understand that the actor had a different show to go to. I haven't watched the other show, and I don't think I ever will, out of respect for Miss Lane Kim. He destroyed me. When I watched this for the first time and I found out he wasn't coming back, I had to take a break between these seasons because I was so upset. Okay, so moving on. I feel like we've got to go with Emily. She has to be, and this is going to be controversial, annoying but iconic. She drives me insane. However, I do love her sometimes. I also love her one-liners. I think she's very iconic as a character. If you don't think she's iconic, I don't think we were watching the same show. I think Lorelai has to go into why not annoying but iconic, and I understand that's going to upset a few people. However, she's annoying and iconic. I don't know what else you want from me. Okay, who else have we got? Babette. She's going into my sweet angels section. I think she's such a sweetie pie. Her and Miss Patty. Where is Miss Patty? Let's get her in that section too. Is Miss Patty not on this list? No, she's got to be on here. Hello? Miss Patty? Miss Patty? Miss Pat. Ah, there she is, my sweet angel. It's honestly like a game of Where's Wally, and I suck at those, so bear with me, please. Okay. April, I'm really spotting you, darling. I'm gonna have to put you in there because the thing is, I feel like April gets a lot of the heat for Anna Nardini's, sorry, she had to go in there immediately, but I feel like April takes a lot of the heat for this woman's decisions. Did it feel like she was written in just to annoy everyone? Yeah. However, April did just want to know her dad, so we're going to put her in there. Plus, she's so smart. She was running all the DNA tests. She was making moves. Clever little girl. Anna Nardini, I don't feel like we need any more words on her. She just aggravates me. She really put me through the ringer because I was like, are you trying to be a good mum? Are you doing what you think is best? Or do you just want April all to yourself and you're not really caring about anybody else? Many thoughts. Many thoughts. Cisco, I feel like you can go into the you're okay section. He didn't really give me much. Dean's little sister, what age is she? She aggravates me so much because sometimes I think she's like 6 and then sometimes she looks about 15 and the way they treat her character is not according to that, and it confuses me. I'm gonna put her in the meh. She aggravates me. Francie, however you want to pronounce her name, she's going in meh too, because she just gave me nothing but a headache, which I understand is the category for the Y section, but she doesn't invoke that like hatred out of me, you know. She's just kind of there. Why is Asha on this list? I like to pretend that this character doesn't even exist. I don't think I can add an additional category, but if I could, it would be the depths of hell, and Asha Fleming would be in it. Okay? Jail time for you, little freak. I don't know who this is. I'm gonna assume he's one of the ones that Lorelai went on a date with. He's just gonna have to go in there because boring. Drella. I'm gonna put her in You're Okay. She is quite funny, but doesn't really give me anything else. Okay, who is this sailor? I feel like I need to rewatch the show. Liz. I understand a lot of people find her funny. She's got her jewelry business, blah, blah, blah. But I will never forgive her for how she raised Jess. And I feel like that's a thing that a lot of people do not talk about all the time. But the way she raised Jess, she deserves a separate category with Asha Fleming, okay? Let's keep these two down here. Gypsy. I'm gonna have to put her in You're Okay. I do really enjoy Gypsy as a character, but I just don't feel like she deserves to be in the annoying but iconic, because she's not that iconic, you know, like Lorelai and Emily, they're running the show. Okay, so Jason, I feel like he can go in the You're Okay. I really did like his character, and I do think that he had the potential to go further. However, he's just alright, I guess. And I think a lot of Lorelai's boyfriends are gonna end up in this section, apart from Luke. Where is he? Where is the sweet boy? I just think he's a sweet angel for Lorelai specifically. Like, does he make bad decisions? Yes. Does he have redeeming qualities? Yes. Do they all make annoying decisions? Yes. That's the whole point. Paul Anka, my sweet, sweet boy. I love him. Comedic relief. Perfect. I do not know who this man is. I have really bad facial recognition. So why I decided that this was the video for me is beyond me. We're just gonna have to put them in meh, because I do not know who you are. I have never seen that man in my life. Oh, right, let's put the band members in You're Okay, because, you know, they exist. I didn't really care for Lane's band, especially after they all, you know, went on tour and abandoned her. I understand that she was a mother. I understand that Lane was being a good mother and taking care of the kids, and like, you know, they all had to go off and live their dream while she stayed with the kids. Out of spite, I'm going to put them all in that You're Okay section, because once again, my sweet baby angel deserved more. And I'm not saying that having kids is a bad thing. I also want kids. I just don't like the way it was constant hits at Lane in this TV show. Gigi. She's a bit of an annoying child, but then her mum ran out on her, which there are so many bad mums on this show. Where is she? Like, I hate to label somebody as a bad mum. This is not my area of expertise, and I will always be like, you know what, they're a mum trying their best and I'm proud of them. However, if there's one thing that these writers knew how to do, it's to write parents who like to just abandon their children. It's very confusing to me. You know what, the two friends have to go here as well, just because I just didn't care for them. My favourite episode with them was when they ran off after the Bangles concert and Lorelai had to go find them, because best believe I would do that as a mother too. I've watched this show so many times and I don't know who that is. I don't know who these people are. I feel like I need to put all of the characters that I don't know who they are into meh. Feel free to tell me in the comments who they are. You guys are very clued in. I watch it numerous times and have no idea. Moving on to Logan's friends, I'm gonna have to put them in the You're Okay section, and that I know it's gonna upset some people, because I understand that everybody loves Logan and his friends, the Life and Death Brigade. I do not. I have this whole issue, okay, which brings me on to Marty, so let's place him at the same time so we can discuss this. So Marty is going to go into the broke my heart section. Did he break my heart as much as Dave? No, not by any means. However, he did also break my heart. The Life and Death Brigade, I have a whole problem with how Marty says when he's kind of getting close to Rory, oh, the way they treat me is disgusting. And then it's kind of just never really accounted for. They just keep talking about how like, oh yeah, he used to wait for us, da, 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 da. And there's never really a clear, hi, I'm sorry type of moment, which I would have really liked. But I guess a lot of Gilmore Girls is about the different class rankings. It just disappoints me. And that was a huge issue with me and Logan at the start of this show, because he was introduced in such a disgusting, grimy manner. And that was not for me. But he did improve, he did improve. Don't really have a place to put Logan. I feel like I'm gonna have to put him into the Sweet Angels section, even though this does annoy me because I'm not his biggest fan in the world. And the same with Jess, because they both are very 50-50, which I understand is the You're Okay section, I guess, but because they both have such redeeming moments, such amazing, redeeming, beautiful moments. We have Jess with the "why did you drop out of Yale?" Wanting the best for her, which I understand a lot of people don't like that. However, I really liked that he gave her that reality check. I do feel like Jess and Logan both at different points in the show give Rory that reality check that she deserves. Rory thinks she's so different to Logan, but she's happy when the benefits are affecting her in a positive light. And I feel like Jess comes back into the show to remind Rory who she is and everything she worked so hard for, and I think she needed that kick, you know, to get back up into it, to take it in and be like, yo, what am I doing? And then she went back to Yale, everything was dandy, until A Year in the Life. Rory and Logan in A Year in the Life makes me so angry. Okay, so Professor Charleston, meh, don't really care for him. Jackson, why? Suki and Jackson, adorable. No. I understand that she was wrong for forcing him into certain decisions. However, he also shouldn't have lied about it. However, there are so many times in the show where he puts pressure on Suki. The amount of decisions that he was like, well, I want this, so it's what's going to have to happen. And speaking of bad relationships, Christopher, he goes here. I don't like him. Kirk, my sweet little angel, who would go into my sweet angel section. However, I'm feeling annoying but iconic for him. And what I love the most about him is when he loves Lorelai and he's like, Lorelai, I would like to take you on a date. She says no and he's like, okay. And then they move back on to being normal friends again. A nice, respectable man. We like that. And Lulu is going to go into my sweet angels because these two together brought me a lot of joy. I feel like it's going to be no surprise to anyone that I am debating between Broke My Heart and Why when it comes to Mr. Dean Forrester. From the get-go, he seemed alright, which makes me want to put him in the Broke My Heart section. But I am debating. I'm going to put him in Broke My Heart, okay? That's very, very nice from me. If you are new to this channel, you probably don't know how much I hate this man. However, I'm going to put him in Broke My Heart because I wanted more from him. I expected better from him, and he took me on a journey of spiraling downwards. It was an emotional roller coaster. The Donna Reed episode, and then him eventually getting his Donna Reed and him treating her like garbage. I will never move on. Which is bringing me on to Lindsay. I'm going to put her in my sweet angels because she does have to be above Dean. Do I like Lindsay that much? No. Does she have to be above Dean? Yes. Which I guess would make more sense if I put Dean in the why did you drop out of... Yeah, okay, Dean's moved down and Lindsay's moving into You're Okay. Max Medina. I really liked Max. Do I think he was the perfect match for Lorelai? No, like, I understand they didn't work. She had to get with Luke. I understand. However, I do really like him, and I like the 1,000 Yellow Daisies. Suki, my sweet angels. She does annoy me sometimes, however, I do also really love her. Paris, straight to the top, darling. She's another one with parents who just abandoned her. I don't understand. Why couldn't we have good parents in this show? Who is this? This blonde lady. She looks so familiar, but I can't work out who she is. Meh. Oh, Mrs. Kim. She has her beliefs and she has her values, and I feel like she's a really difficult one for me, so we're going to put her in You're Okay and we're going to move on. We have Mia, and I'm 50-50 with Mia. When she came back recasted, she was like a complete different character. I just couldn't work out what we were meant to feel about that character, so she's going in You're Okay. Okay, Rachel is going to go in You're Okay as well. Mitchum, why? Mitchum's wife, why? Richard. I actually like Richard. I know a lot of people don't like Richard. At some points, he does break my heart. At other points, he is a sweet, sweet angel. So I'm going to put him in Sweet Angel. Rune, why? This man, I don't know who you are. Why? Carole King. She's actually on the list. I like the way that she treats Lane. Also, she's just an iconic woman. She deserves to be in my Sweet Angels. Oh, Maury. I feel like Maury has to go into Sweet Angels because I really do enjoy these two as characters together. That might be controversial, but we move. Michelle, straight to the top, darling. Annoying but iconic. Taylor. I'm going to put him in You're Okay because, and that might shock a few people, however, sometimes he makes me cry. Like, the way he loves his town so much and he wants it to be perfect, I think is really adorable. Does he go about it the right way? No. Is he really annoying sometimes? Yes. I feel like he needs to be there. Professor Charleston, meh. Lorelai the First, meh. The Troubadour, yeah, You're Okay. Tristan. Now, I'm tempted to put him in Why, but I'm going to put him in Broke My Heart because I was very excited that he was going to be in the show, and then he opened his mouth, and that broke my heart, okay? Which brings me on to Rory. I'm going to have to put her in Broke My Heart. She, in the first seasons, 1 to 3, about 1 to 3, I think, she gave me everything I could want in a character and more. And then I don't know what she did, but I didn't like it. She went on this downwards spiral of chaos, and I don't hate her. Don't get me wrong, I know a lot of people hate her. I don't hate Rory. I very much have a love-hate relationship with Rory Gilmore, and it's really hard to place her in one section at any given time because she is such a flip-flop. Okay, so that is my official ranking on the Gilmore Girls characters. Let me know if you like this video. I honestly am loving uploading. I'm having the best time on YouTube right now. Let me know if you'd like to see more, and any video ideas that you may have that you would like to see me do. But yeah, I love you all. Thank you so much. I shall see you next week.